Knicks fan, what's popping? I didn't get a chance to do a post game the other day. To be honest with you, I was just tired, man. I was exhausted. I woke up 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday so I could take my daughter to a basketball workout and practice with the local community college. Now she's just a sophomore in high school, but she's developed a relationship with them, and they let her come in and work out every Saturday. It's good for her. It's good for her. After the workout, I took her to meet one of her AAU teammates, and we worked out for another 3 hours. So it was a long day, and it was me doing the drills with them, So it was definitely a long day. Came home, didn't even get a chance to take a nap, Just had some other things to do. Then I watched the Knicks game. So I was just exhausted, but there's definitely some things that I want to talk about with this game. Before we get into this light breakdown of Knicks Pistons, let's talk about a development happening in the NBA as we speak. Pheonix Suns guard Eric Bledsoe tweeted last night, October 22nd, "I don't want to be here." Apparently, it was in regards to the Suns, and he no longer wants to play for the team. The Pheonix Suns, it's been reported that the Suns are currently accepting trade offers, and according to Ian Begley, the Knicks have inquired. I definitely wouldn't mind Eric Bledsoe playing for the Knicks. I think he's a strong guard. I think he averaged 21-6 last year. He's a young vet that can help train Ntilikina. He can be that number 2 option. I think he'd be a number 2 option over Hardaway for KP. And I think he'd be a nice fit. He played for Jeff Hornacek. He already knows. I'm not going to say he knows the system altogether, but he knows Hornacek's philosophy. I think it'd be a nice pickup. Will it stunt our youth movement and growth? No, it will not. First of all, he's fairly young. He's 27 years old. And as long as you're not trading away your core pieces, might as well go for it, right? When opportunities become available, you've got to do what you need to do to make your team better. Scott Perry has already said that's what he's going to do. While we're building, when an opportunity becomes available, he'll go for it, if it makes sense for the team. And this makes sense for the team. Now, there may be some competition for him. You have several teams that may be looking for a point guard. You have Houston. Now, I know you say, well, Houston has Chris Paul. Well, Chris Paul went down for 2 weeks with a knee injury, and they may be looking for some insurance. Dallas, Dennis Smith Jr. could possibly have a chronic knee injury, so they may be looking for some insurance there. Cleveland, Derrick Rose went down. Isaiah Thomas is out. So there are some teams that, there's going to be some competition for Eric Bledsoe. So, if you think the Knicks will be able to just swoop in and get him on the cheap, we're wrong about that. But what would I offer up? Kyle O'Quinn, Doug McDermott, Ron Baker, 2nd round pick. You're definitely gonna need to throw a center in there to try to clean up that glut, that center. Or maybe Kyle O'Quinn and Courtney Lee. I like Courtney Lee because he plays defense and he's pretty consistent, but you got to give up something to get something. Let's see what happens. His contract is up 2018-19, right along the lines when Inez Cancer and KP's contract is up. And so, let's see what happens. Development. That's what this game says to me. The team is young. They're learning. They've got to learn how to win. They've got to learn the art of winning. And it's going to take time. These are the type of games we should get used to, these type of games this year, because it's going to happen. There's going to be plenty of games where they build a lead and they don't know how to hold on to the lead. They're a youthful team, right? It's immaturity. When you get a little bit more experienced, which championship teams, they have experience. And they've been through their time of giving up big leads. And through that experience, they learned how to hold the leads. They learned, hey, this team can come back. Let's put them away. We got this lead. We're putting them away. Right? A young team, it takes time to learn that. Right? It takes the bumps and the bruises for them to learn, hey, this game isn't over. Right? Now, I'm not going to say that they started playing, lackadaisical. I think there was something else, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But it's going to take some time for this team to learn. So we've got to be patient with them because it's going to take some time for them to develop. Look at who was on the floor. Sessions, McDermott, KP, O'Quinn, and Hardaway, right? None of these guys are used to being responsible for securing a victory. All right. Sessions, although he's 31, for the most part, he's been a backup his whole career. All right. So when it gets into crunch time, those late fourth quarter minutes, Sessions is coming out. Start point guard's coming in the game, right, to try to secure that win. McDermott doesn't have much playing experience in the NBA, in those type of situations at all. For the most part, he's been playing spot minutes throughout his career. He's been in the league for 3 years, I think. He's basically been playing spot minutes. Hardaway, he's been in a few games, and he's been in some crunch time games, but he's never been responsible or one of the main parties that were responsible for securing the win. There's always been that other star there for him, right? When he was with the Knicks, it was Melo and J.R. Smith and Tyson Chandler and Amari Stoudemire. It was those guys who were responsible for securing the win, right? Because he was young. He's still young, but he was younger. He was just coming into the league. When he was in Atlanta, you had Paul Millsap and them guys that were they were responsible for securing the win. Now, he did get into some, of course, when he was in Atlanta. I'm sure he played some crunch time minutes. I didn't watch all of his games and things, but I know he played some crunch time minutes. But it's still different here because he's expected to be one of the guys. And you know what? Let's give it to him. He did his thing, in the fourth quarter. I'm not saying that he didn't do well in the fourth quarter, but still, the inexperience is there. It's a different kind of pressure on you, right? And then KP, of course, this is his first time being the man and having to bring that win home. So, it's going to take some time for them to learn how to do it. It's going to take some time, especially, they were playing the Pistons and there's a few guys there that have a little bit more experience doing it. Reggie Jackson has a little bit more experience and understands how to step up a little bit better, right? So they got some guys that have been in situations, and the Knicks don't. So let's give them some time. I think it was a good game. It was something that they can build off of, and they can something they can learn from. It was definitely something that they can learn from. But there, of course, there are a few reasons that the Pistons came back, and the Knicks gotta look at those reasons and say, okay, what do we do about this? And one of the big reasons that the Pistons came back, they just came out and became tougher in the second half. right? They pushed KP around. You know, they went and got, they did what they wanted. They bullied us in the second half, bottom line. And nobody got tough. Nobody from our team got tough. You know, we need somebody. O'Quinn is physical, which is the reason why you've seen him play so many minutes in the second half. He's tough. He can rebound the ball, plays good defense. He's tough. But who else was tough? Right? Instead of getting tough back with the Pistons, we complain to the ref. We look to the ref to save us. And that's not always going to happen. Right? We got to get tougher. Right? We got to get that tough mentality. It may be hard for us because we don't have those kind of gritty guys on the team. Right? We don't have players that have that kind of grit. Kyle O'Quinn has it. Joe Kim has it, but who knows what he's really going to be able to give us when he comes back. I think Damian Dotson maybe has that kind of grit, but he's not getting the playing time right now. Ron Baker, you know, he's a tough guy. You know, he's a tough, I'm not saying a tough guy, you know, but he's tough. But he couldn't handle the pressure, you know. A couple guys on my Twitter feed said, you know, Ron Baker should have been in the game, but you know, when the defense got real tight, you know, he was having trouble dribbling the ball. I don't think he would have been able to handle that fourth quarter pressure. Defensive pressure. I just don't think he would have been able to handle it. My opinion, maybe he would have. I don't know. You know, we didn't get a chance to see him there, but I don't think he would have been able to handle it. Doug McDermott, McBuckets. He's not a tough guy, right? We need somebody out there that's going to be tough. We need someone that's going to protect KP, because Anthony Tolliver, man, he started pushing KP around, throwing him to the ground. We can't let that happen. We just can't let that happen. Somebody's got to step up, get in Tolliver's face, and say, "Yo, it's not going down like that. This is our dude. It's not happening that way." Right? You're not going to step in the guard and throw our players around this way. Nobody did that. We need somebody that's not afraid to do it. Kyle O'Quinn, I'm pointing to you. You're the one guy that can do it. You got to do it at sometimes, right? I'm not saying get technical fouls and get thrown out the game, but we need somebody to stand up. And right now, you're the guy that can do it. Okay, guys. I ended up speaking much longer than I expected to about Knicks Pistons. I ended up running off of the mouth a little bit too much. But I'm going to ask you to go check out part 2 of the Knicks Pistons post game. And, you know, I'm going to talk about some more reasons as to why we lost the game, or why the Pistons came back. I'm going to get into some Tim Hardaway, Porzingis, Billy Hernan-Gomez, Cantor. And I'm also going to talk to you about some nothing but Knicks roundtable discussions through Google Hangouts, broadcasted live on YouTube. So make sure you go check out part 2, and I'll talk to you in a couple of minutes.